Hi, this is Julie with Three Sisters Sundries. I am here today with another beading project. I received some Shrink Prink by Dress My Craft from a friend of mine that won it in a prize box. So I am trying out a little charm dangle. So I have cut most of my flowers out of Shrink Prink with the Dress My Craft dies. I can't remember what number flower this is. It's the Ruffled Rose, looks like. And I have used the largest and then the next one down. So I am going to just cut these last two flowers. I think I'm going to tape them. I have some hair tape left over from my hairdressing days, and I'm just going to tape them down because they tend to move a little bit when I send it through my machine. Sorry about all the shaking, and you can hear them really crunch. Means they're cutting. I'm just going to send them back again. And there's one. You can see they do a really good job cutting this plastic. Okay, so there are my flowers. Let me just move my machine out of the way, and I will color them. I'm going to bring over my little media mat, mixed media mat, and here are the flowers that I've already created. These you use a heat tool to make it shrink. So we'll get to that, but first we are going to color these. I've made 3 of each size, and I already have 3 of each size made. So I've got these chalks, decorating chalks, and I'm going to use this lightest pink, this medium pink, and then this kind of salmony color here, that they kind of go together. So I'm just going to use my finger, and I'm going to color, let's see, I'm going to color one each color of the 2 different sizes. So I'm just going to color on the rough side. It's frosted on one side and shiny on the other. So we're coloring the frosted side, and it really holds on to the color well. This one is kind of hard to see because it's so light, but you can see it kind of picked up that color. And we're going to do one of these smaller ones in this. Oh, I have that on the shiny side. Okay, done with the chalks. Now I'm going to punch a hole in the center of these, and this is I'm going to say maybe 1/8 inch. Yes, 1/8 inch hole punch. And I'm going to punch a hole as close to the center as I can get it in all of these. And it's important to remember to punch your hole before you shrink these, because once it's shrunk, it would be pretty impossible or difficult to get a hole. So then I have some tweezers, and I have my heat tool. This is just my old embossing heat tool by Marvi Uchida. And I'm going to take a pair of tweezers and just hold, I'm going to flip them over so that they're shiny side up, because that is the side that I want to show in my flowers. So I'm just going to hold my tweezers in the center of the hole, turn on my heat gun, and go in an even circle around this flower. It's already starting to curl. Goes pretty quickly. So you just hold on till it flattens back out. And then I don't have the proper tools, but I have a bullet that my husband put together for me. And I'm using my what is this? Mouse pad. I used a softer foam. These are just inserts from a bike helmet that I used the last time to do these ones, and I'm thinking that they cupped a little more than I would like, so I'm going to try the other ones with these. I will get the rest of those heated and be right back. I am back. I thought I would demonstrate a couple more of these flowers. I've gone back to my softer mat to get a better cup. This is, you can see the difference between that one. Maybe you can. It's a little bit flatter, and then that one has more of a cup, more of a rounded cup. So just to match the rest of my flowers. But this is one of the bigger ones, so let's just heat in a nice even circle. And then I'll quickly put this over on the mat. It's still nice and warm, and then just push down a little bit. There, that's kind of in between an in-between cup. So they are so pretty. I just love these flowers. So if you have the right tools, these turn out a little bit different, but this is what I have. Dress My Craft does have an embossing mat that's kind of an in-between softness between these two that I'm using. They also have heat-resistant tweezers, but I've decided that the heat doesn't really have time to crawl up the tweezers, so these ones are working pretty good. Okay, and quickly transfer it to my spongy. And that's one of the smaller ones. And then we'll do this last big one. Let me zoom in for this. I just love how fast these go. And I'll try and bend these petals out. It's already too cool to bend the petals, but there's that last large flower. Now I have added already a bead and a head pin to these. So I have these little head pins that have a little ball on them. And I'm going to choose a smaller bead here. like, well, kind of a medium-sized bead, and put the head pin through the bead first. Oh my goodness, that hole is not very good. And then it goes in the flower as the center. Oh, I think, no, that's too big a bead. I need a smaller one. Okay, I'm going to have to dump out my beads. Maybe I'll dump them out here. Okay, I know I have some smaller ones in there. Ah, here we go. They always fall down to the bottom of this container. Okay, so that size bead will be better as the center of the flower. Now the demonstration I watched was quite interesting, the way she did her head pins. She took a safety pin and slipped it through the part that unhooks with the point, bends it over, and then holds on to that end of the wire and just twists. And it wraps it around the loop you make, and then she just cut off the end, and then you can, I don't know, my end is kind of short and I don't have very good cutters. I might just wrap that all the way around, or maybe not, because it's not hard to hold on to. Let's see, I might be able to, this tool, hang on to my loop and squeeze that around. But as you can see, it works out to be a pretty, I mean, it's an odd shaped loop, if you can see that, but works out pretty good. So I will get the rest of these centers in and then I'll be back. I have all of my flowers with centers now, and I've also prepared three different sizes of beads actually. 3 of these little tiny ones, 6 of the medium ones, and 6 larger ones with the same head pin and with the same technique with just 1 bead on. So we are going to put together this little dangle. I've got a piece of chain here that I think is going to be about the right length. I've got a lobster claw clasp that I'm going to put on one end, and I have 2 different sizes of jump rings. I've got some larger ones. I do not know these sizes because I've taken them all out of the packages and I don't know sizes of jump rings. So I've got larger ones and then some smaller ones, and I think I'll take one of the smaller ones, and I am going to put all 3 of these smaller beads on this one jump ring, and I'm going to hang this on the very end of the chain. And close it up. That jump ring is still kind of large, but I think it will work. So that is going to be the very end. Now the next one, I'm going to start with my, oh, you know what, I just realized this isn't not going to work out the way I was planning, but maybe we'll do like a double ombre. I wanted this to be ombre effect so that as it went up it would go from light to dark, but since I have the 2 different sizes, it's not going to work out the way I wanted, but we'll just have kind of a double ombre. So on this large, I've got switched to the larger jump ring, so I'm going to put a bead, a flower, and then I'm going to slip it on my chain. I'm going to skip 2 of the links and go and put that on the next one, And then I'm going to put a flower and a bead. And then close that up. Oh, it's not closing. I might need my glasses for this because I am having a hard time seeing that. Okay, we've got that closed up. So there's our next layer. Now I'm going to get another ring. I'm doing the same thing, bead. Ooh, that one didn't wrap very well. And then the next darkest color flower. Then skip 2 chains, 2 links in the chain, slip the jump ring on, add the other flower and another bead. And close that up. Okay, looking pretty cute so far. Okay, and then I will do the next color and continue on. So I will be back when we get closer to the end and show you what it's looking like. Okay, I am getting near the top. I've got one more set of flowers to put on, but I am having a hard time finding the end of my chain, so I'm just going to attach my jump ring with my clasp on the very end so that I can find the end of my chain better. Now this last flower set I put on, I did a different order. I did bead, flower, flower, well, bead, flower attached to the chain, flower, bead. And I think that's going to space my flowers out a little bit better, so I may go back and change every other one to that order. But we have our last dark flower in the large size, and I have also, with the larger flowers, switched to the larger beads. So I'm going to do flower, bead, skip 2 on the chain and attach. Oops, I missed the link. Skip 2 and attach right here. And then bead, flower. So there it is. Oh, I think that turned out really beautiful, even though I got mixed up with the order of my flowers, but I think it looks pretty nice with the different colors. That light is really not very great, but there's my charm dangle. I am going to be working on a junk journal, and I think I will put this on the spine of the junk journal. So stay tuned for pictures at the end. Thanks for watching.